Hey guys, what's going on? Dion here. So I'm back for another weekly forecast video where I talk about what I think is going to happen with the Australian dollar to the US and where I just tell you about the trades I'm thinking about taking this week. So if you've been watching my videos, then you know that last week I had a very great week, about 7 to 8% up. So I'm hoping that this week, brings the same energy and everything's all good. So yeah, if you haven't seen my videos before, I do this every week, a weekly forecast, a weekly review about what actually happened throughout the week, and a weekly vlog just to show you what I've been getting up to and how I go about my work process and what I do throughout the week. So if that sounds interesting, then subscribe. If you like my videos, make sure you click that thumbs up because it means a lot. And yeah, let's get stuck right into it. So obviously the week which I'm forecasting at the moment is next week, so that starts on the 11th to the 16th. Now, in regards to what I think can happen, so this is just a bullish scenario right here. So I drew a Fibonacci from this point here, so when price touched this support to when it pushed right through this resistance. So it broke that resistance pretty clearly. Now it can do a few things. I'm expecting that either price could drop from here and retest, it could drop into this area of support, but I think more than likely price is going to continue up to this resistance, which is the bottom of this old trend line we have here. So I'm thinking price is going to touch, it's going to retrace into this old support, which also does line up with this Fibonacci zone. So this is, yeah, support. It's a pretty strong one, I'd say. It continues for a while back. So I think that it could hit here, test it, and push right through up to this next level I've got drawn up here, which traces back quite a bit. But this is a significant level here. Either this area, or it could actually push to the top of this trend line. So yeah, simply what I think price is going to do is it's going to retest this trend line because it did break. I think this is the retest here before retracing into a fib zone and pushing up to one of these two significant levels. That's what I think is going to happen if price decides to be bullish. Now on the flip side, if price decides to be bearish, this is what I have. So this is a different time frame I'm using. This is on the daily. It's just a little bit easier to see what's going on this larger time frame. So price has pushed from the top here down, it's broken a significant level and touched this one here. So it's hit this support, it's come up, and it did try to break this resistance twice. It did touch around, couldn't do it, retraced down, created a higher, a higher low, and also now it's making a higher high. So we'll see what happens here, but if it is a bearish situation, what I think it could do is, just like the other scenario, it could touch this trend line here, but instead of retracing and pushing back up the trend line, I think what it could do is touch the trend line, it's going to reject it and push right through to the downside and break this support. Now it could hover around here, it could touch the support, come up, create a lower high from here and then push down, but ultimately what I'm thinking is it's going to touch and make its way down one way or another to this support and this significant level, which is the 7,000. Now, to put things into a little bit more detail, this is sort of what I'm thinking. So I'm not going to trade until I see there's a confirmed reversal from this area. Now this could be either a lower high and lower low. This could be the EMAs or the SMAs crossing. This could be, a structure just showing me, or a pattern, or just a sign like a bearish engulfing candle or a falling star, or evening star, just anything. I just need a confirm that price is reversing. So just to get into a bit more detail in regards to how I'm going to be taking the trades and what I'm looking for, I drew this little bit up here. So like I said earlier, I am expecting price to come up and touch here. Now from here, it can either, retrace down and push up for a bullish scenario. Price could actually just break right through. There's a couple of things that can happen. So I've marked these important areas with this, blue ellipse. So I'm not expecting and I'm not trying to predict what could happen. What I'm saying is something important is going to happen in these areas, and depending on what price does around here, it's going to dictate what type of trade that I'm going to take. So if this is, since we're talking about bearish, this is what I'd want to see. I want to see lower highs and lower lows being created. I want to see some Fibonacci retracements to the downside, and I want to see my moving averages crossing appropriately for this, bearish scenario. Now, when price does push down here, there is another area here. So this is another little trend line. So this here is the bottom of the trend line. So this is the break here, and this is the retest. But there is another potential for a break and retest of this, less significant trend line. So when price comes down to here, it could do a couple things. But like I said, I'm not expecting and I'm not predicting anything. I'm just going to see what happens, and based on what happens, I will take the trade. So what I want to see before I take the trade is the break and the retest of this trend line. The retest does not always need to retest the trend line. The retest can, retest the significant area, or it could retest the Fibonacci retracement areas, or it could retrace a Fibonacci area which lines up with a significant area or this trend line. It can do either of those, and some of those have a higher probability of, a continued reversal. But pretty much I'm looking for either of those things to enter this area. Now, say price does continue to drop here. I don't actually know what could happen here. I'm a little bit unsure, if I'm going to be completely honest. So that's why I just said, pay attention to the price here, because whatever price does, like I said, it will dictate on what type of trade I'm going to take. Now, those are the three areas which I'm going to be pretty much the areas I'm going to have a keen eye on, and the areas I'm going to pay most attention to. Now, in regards to the trades I'm thinking of taking, as you can see, I've got 3 areas lined up here, but I've only got 2 trades here. That's because only 2 of these trades I'm confident with taking. So one is the reversal from the bottom of the larger channel, which is this one here, and the break and the retest of this smaller trend line here. So I'm not entering it as soon as it breaks. I am waiting for it to break. Even if it comes down to this area before it comes to do the retest, I am not taking a trade. I'm not making a sell unless I see some form of retracement here and a push to the downside. So I guess that wraps it up. Like, just a quick easy one for this week. This is my bullish scenario. This is my bearish, and pretty much what I'm looking for and what trades I'm planning on taking. So yeah, I guess that wraps up this quick video for next week. Now, I just want to let you know that price can do whatever. It does not necessarily have to follow exactly what I've said that it could, because that's just what the market is, and that's how it works. And I guess our job as a trader is to understand what it's trying to tell us by making these movements. We're not here to say, hey, this is what should happen and these are the trades I'm going to take in. There is no should, there is only could. That's a nice one. But yeah, so there is only those coulds, and depending on what they do, then that will dictate what I do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it brought you some sort of value. And if you decide to take these trades with me, then that's completely up to you. I'm not saying that these will happen. This is just what I'm looking for, and based on the way I trade and my strategy, well, this is how I'm deciding to trade for this week. So, I mean, everyone trades differently. There is no right or wrong. Depends on your level of awareness, what you can see on the charts and what you can't. But yeah, this is how I trade, so this is how I will trade. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one, and yeah, have a great week, and hopefully everything goes sweet.